Hello everybody, good morning to you. It is a cold wintry day here where I live. It's actually snowing a little bit, so that's fun. But anyway, before I get into it, as always, I want to remind everyone that Alchemortis is available for wish listing, and also you can join the playtest now. So the playtest is public for everyone. You can just go to the Steam page, click this request access button, and that will give you immediate access to the playtest, and you can give me your feedback. Let me know what you think in the Discord channel. All that stuff is linked below, the Steam page and the Discord. I also have the Patreon linked below. This is a great way to support the project. What is happening? This is a great way to support the project. If you join at the sponsor tier here, one of the perks you get is that you will get a full key or a Steam key for the full game for Alchemortis when the game launches, as well as your name in the in-game Alchemortis credits. So if that sounds interesting to you, definitely check it out. And I also have my Udemy courses available for sale. These will teach you how to build complete games in the Godot engine. It's a great way to support me again, and it's also a great way to learn how to build games. So check those out if you're interested. Everything is linked below. And let's get right back into what we were doing. So yesterday I started work on this obelisk node type, and the obelisk node type basically allows you to modify the map in some kind of way in an immediate area. So I can just show you what that looks like right now. I've got my cat sitting with me here now. Hello, cat. No, you don't want to do that. If this would load at any point during today, that would be great. Okay, so we've got an obelisk here that can show up on the map. And we'll just work my way to it here. So right now, the only two things that the obelisk can do is if I click this test button, it will create a couple of more combat nodes in the immediate vicinity, and it will also make combats reward more blood when you beat them. This one is interesting. When I click this one, it creates 2 boosters in the immediate vicinity, and then those boosters will contain an enemy card. So you can see that I don't know if you can see this that well, but I've kind of just started putting this radius indicator around it. So that shows which nodes are all being affected by this obelisk. And so this obelisk, I chose the booster option. So if I go to one of these boosters now, what I should see is I should see that I can have an enemy card as an output. So this is a way that you're going to be able to get enemy cards here. And yeah, it should be fun. So those are the only 2 like obelisk features that I've done so far, but I think what's interesting is that they can overlap. So if I were to make my way over to this obelisk here, then there would be at least a handful of nodes here that would sorry, I'm just thinking of something. There's at least a handful of nodes here that would be under the effect of both obelisks. So that's kind of the idea. I'm still trying to figure out how to visually present this, and the problem with this obelisk is that it remains up instead of becoming cleared. I was experimenting with that because then it's like, how do I display a radius from a cleared node, or that's going to look weird. I don't know. We'll figure it out, but anyway. Hello, V. Welcome back. Hello, Emerson. Good to see you. Snow, never seen that. Really? Is that true? Hello, cat. Yeah, everyone's saying hi to the cat. I don't believe in snow. Never seen it. So yeah, there's a bunch of things to do here with this obelisk system. So I'm just trying to think. I think it makes sense for the obelisk to have the potential to create all kinds of different node types. Wonder what happens if I go this way. So there's the visual component of it. It needs to be, well, there needs to be visuals for the map, but also for the actual obelisk event. If I go into this obelisk here, you can see we got test and enemy. If I just do enemy here, yeah. So I need to figure out some way of indicating the radius, what to do with the cleared obelisk node type here. Probably will need to list out all of the obelisk effects that a node is under when you hover over it. And what else? It is true there's no snow here. Oh, gotcha, okay. Gotcha. Hello, Smashwall, welcome back. So I'm trying to think, does it make sense to... I kind of do want to work on the visual side of things because I think it's just... It's hard to really see what it will look like in game if I don't get that straight, but one of the things that I want to do is that when you enter the obelisk, you choose an option, it changes some nodes. I want that to animate. So what I would like to happen is you come back to the map, the camera pans over, it plays an animation for this node changing, and then it pans over to this node and it plays an animation for that node changing, so you know which nodes changed. So yeah. And what's interesting is that as soon as that goes off screen, that circle stops drawing. Interesting. All right, so there's a lot to figure out here. I think it makes sense to add at least a couple of more functional things to the obelisk. So I think it would be a good idea to do like one obelisk power per node type, at least one per node type. So I've already got a combat one, I've already got a booster one. So we need to do one for reagents. Let's see. So we want to do one for reagents, we want to do one for enchant. We want to do one for upgrade card. Do you think a gain from 400 to 3,000 wish lists after Steam Next Fest is a bad good score? I mean, yeah, I think that's good no matter how you slice it, right? I mean, that's what? What is that? Over almost a 1,000% increase, is that true? Not quite a 1,000% increase, but it's good, yeah. As far as how many wish lists do you want to end up with, I don't know the answer to that question. I think the common wisdom is you want to end up with like 15 or 20,000 wish lists before you launch, something like that. But yeah, it's certainly good. 750% increase. There you go. There you go. Good morning, team. Good morning, Michael. What other node types do I have? I don't even remember. Shop. Ooh. Shop. So there's a lot more technical work to do. Maybe I should get that done first before we do any visual stuff. Checkpoint, booster, combat, grow board. I need to think of one for grow board. I think I'm going to change how the board growth works. Max health. Oh. Okay. So I basically want to make one obelisk power per one, but let's do reagents. So yeah, so we need to change a couple of things here. So we got to get obelisk configuration for node. This needs to change. So we got a new obelisk configuration here. Let's create a constructor, a proper constructor for it. Public obelisk configuration. And seed. I guess I don't actually need to do that. I don't actually need to do that. Let's go back. I'll just create a different method in here. Public obelisk option get options. And we will do this. I want to do a weighted loot table, I think. So let's do public weighted loot table obelisk option. Do I want to do that? Yeah, we're gonna use the loot table. Private weighted loot table. Loot table equals new. I'm keep going back and forth. I guess I do want an obelisk configuration. Okay. Loot table dot set random RNG. Loot table dot add item. New obelisk option. And we're just going to do a weight of 1. It's fine. All the weights are going to be equal, but I'm just using this because I have a built-in way of not choosing the same one twice in this weighted loot table implementation. So we'll use that. RNG equals RNG. Cool. Loot table add item obelisk option 1. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. So when we do get options, we're going to return loot table dot pick items. We're going to pick 3, allow duplicates equals false. Okay, that should work. Your daylight savings ended and now your stream starts right when I leave the house. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I can't control the clocks though. The overlords in the bureaucracy, they're the ones that send all the elves to the houses to change the clocks, so it's out of my power. I missed it. What is obelisk? It's a map node that changes other map nodes around it. Yes, thank you, Wooius. That's exactly right. Okay, so enemy card booster map node effect. So I need to create a new map node effect. Let's do reagent guaranteed death orchid map node effect.cs. Look at that. Is that the longest class name I have in the entire game? Public reagent guaranteed death orchid map node effect. Namespace game.data.map node effect. Why is there a return true here? That doesn't make sense. Thank you, AI. We're gonna have to fix this up. I don't really like how this pattern is working, but I think I can just make it work, I guess. Reagent event state machine. Reagent configuration in here. How did I do it for the enemy card booster? Modify enemy cards picked. This is called where? In the booster event state machine. Okay. So what I probably want to do is in my reagent event state machine, I probably want to do that same thing. Set reagent configuration. Let's just do this. Var guaranteed orchids is equal to map node effects manager. I'm just going to do a very basic public static int get guaranteed orchid count for run map node. Get guaranteed reagent orchid count node. And we'll just put this little return 0. Okay, and then we're just going to return instance.map nodes to effects dot sum Actually, we'll probably want this. Return 0. Return effects dot of type dot count. So this is basically just not going to do anything, which is a little bit weird, but whatever works, it works. So our guaranteed orchids is going to be equal to get guaranteed reagent orchid count for the current node. And then we're going to pass that in here. Set reagent configuration. So we have this reagent configuration get cards. Hello, Snupbill. Thank you for the IDR 10,000 as always. Very much appreciate that. Thank you and welcome back. Always good to see you. We have the message yummers. Of course we do. We love that. Thank you, Snupbill. Thank you, thank you. Good morning, Chris. How's it going? It's going well. How are you doing? Alrighty. How do I want to do this? Let's see. Reagent configuration get cards. I kind of feel like I should just do this as a separate thing. So let's do public void set guaranteed orchids int count. Private int guaranteed orchids. Guaranteed orchids equals count. Then when we go to pick cards here, or get cards rather, we are going to want to artifact manager modify card. So pick modified cards. I'm just going to do this. Public static base card, pick card with ID, string card ID, card factory.create card. So we're going to do return card factory.create card card ID. Oh, this needs to be a card definition resource. Card registry.from ID, card ID, true. We're going to call artifact manager dot modify card and return card. All right. So now my reagent container here. I've been on vacation the last week, which is why I wasn't here. Oh, I see. How was your vacation? Was it good? I hope it was. I have a vacation coming up very soon. I'm not going to be streaming for the first couple of weeks in December because I will be gone. So I need to get a video at least done so you all can hear my wonderful voice in my absence. It was relaxing. Good. Hello, Rin. Welcome back. Always good to see you. How you doing? Here's the cat again. Hello, cat. I'm gonna play the cat bongos. Do you like it? You getting your butt slapped? Do you like that? You're weird. Ah. What are you looking at? You're cute. You are cute, buddy. Okay, so I just need a way of picking these orchids now. So we've got these cards here. Get cards. I think what I should do is well, how do I want to do this? I might just create a separate list here. For var I equals 0, I is less than guaranteed cards dot count, and I is less than cards dot length I plus plus. Cards I equals guaranteed cards I. I think that will work. So we're basically gonna pick the first set of cards just by itself. Then we're gonna overwrite up to all of them based on how many death orchids I have. Now I do want to do this. Public const string death orchid. Here we go. Let me alphabetize this. Okay. Hey, Sharima. Can you stop? Sharima, what are you doing? Sharima. Every time I try to work, the cats are up to something. Okay. So all of that for what? I need to pass in the guaranteed orchids. So we're going to do reagent container dot set guaranteed orchids, guaranteed orchids. Okay, that'll work. Now we need to go back to the obelisk here. And we need to get this working. You're doing all right? Oh, that's good. Are you going to Japan? Close. I'm going to China. Hey, I've changed my name. Can you guess who am I? Well, there was one person that always capitalized the first letter of each word in their sentence. But I forgot the username. Dang, I can't believe I forgot the username. I'm sorry. I know who you are, just forgot what your username was. Once you say it, I will remember. That's so cool. Yeah, it should be fun. Should be fun. It's a long flight, but it'll be all right. Why are you going to China? Vacation work? Well, my fiance is Chinese, so I'm going to China to meet her parents. That is why. Okay, so we need to... Get obelisk configuration for node. Right, I actually need to call get options here. Welcome back, by the way, 1-star Yelp review. Always good to see you. I feel like everything I do, I need to be like top quality. Otherwise I'm gonna get a negative review on my business from 1-star Yelp review. So on button press, so we need to set up these options beforehand. So we're going to do private obelisk configuration.obelisk option options. This needs to be an array. So enter state init. What we need to do is we need to grab that. So we need to say options is equal to context.seededrun get obelisk configuration for node context.currentNode.get options. Right. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to need to figure this out a little bit. I am Mio Leo Dev. That's right. Okay. Yeah, I remember. Very cool. Yeah. That obelisk icon reminds me of 2001 A Space Odyssey. Yeah. Is that a good thing? I hope that's a good thing. I'm always watching you. Don't slip up. Don't slip up. I have one low energy moment and it's like, oh, docking a star. Oh, I just want to get this game done. I want to get this game done and in your hands. But there's a lot more work to do. So now I need to go to my obelisk container here. Set options, obelisk configuration, obelisk option array. We're not going to worry about any of this. We're going to get rid of this. Obelisk container. Let's get rid of these things here. Add child node hbox container. We will do wide here. Okay. We'll just do this. Oh, I don't need to mark that as a unique name. Let's grab the hbox container reference. So private hbox container. Hbox container. On ready, I don't know if we need to do anything just yet, so I'm going to leave that blank. We're going to do for each var option in options. Actually, I think this needs to be a traditional array. For var I equals 0, I is less than options.length. Option button is equal to new custom button. Option button dot text is equal to options I dot Change event to type to string, that's fine. I'm just going to put a placeholder in here first. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do option button dot pressed plus equals on option selected. On option select there. We're going to wrap this in a lambda so that I can pass in the index. So we're going to do var index equals I. Maybe I don't need to do that. Maybe I'll just pass along the option. Well, I still need to do that actually. Var option is equal to options I. Let's move this up. Simplify that. On option selected option. Obelisk configuration dot obelisk option there. Okay. Emit signal option select. Oh, that doesn't help either. Son of a bee. So I guess I am going to need to change this. Well, maybe not actually. Option selected event handler. Emit signal option selected. Index. Get rid of this. Okay, so now if I go back to my obelisk state machine here, we're going to do obelisk container dot option selected plus equals on option selected. Get rid of this guy. Okay. We can get rid of this. On option selected. Okay, that should do it. Let's take a gander at how that works. Cats, what are you doing? I feel like every day I work on my game, more work gets created than finished, and not even talking about scope, just discovery in general. Yeah. It's not a bad thing. In the movie, the obelisk appears throughout human history and is a mysterious alien object without a clear purpose. It's likely a marker placed by aliens to advance human civilization. It first appears in a rocky desert, surrounded by ancient human primates who start worshipping and fighting over it. Yeah, I have seen that movie. I actually watched it in a high school class that I took. And I remember it was really good. A little bit trippy, but very good. Hello, Neozoid. It's a very famous movie from the late 1970s by Stanley Kubrick. It laid the foundation for many science fiction movies that came after, truly visionary. Yeah, I remember... Oops, something's wrong. Oh, I forgot to add it. Interstellar kind of makes me... is reminiscent, I think, or inspired by 2001: A Space Odyssey. I also like Interstellar a lot. That's a good one. I've always wanted to travel outside the US. Somewhere in Asia would be really cool. I'm a big weeb, so probably Japan, but I'm pretty scared to travel that far by myself. Yeah, you and me both. I mean, I'm not scared, but it's like, you know, it's a little bit stress-inducing. I've only ever been to Canada and Puerto Rico, but as we all know, Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory, so that's not the same as going out of the country. Pardon my language, but what the heck? Why is this not working? Am I not calling set options anywhere? Oh, that would be why. That would be why. I love that movie. My favorite, actually, Interstellar. Oh, okay. Awesome. Hello, Bernardo. Played a dozen runs on the playtest this weekend. Pretty good so far. Oh, glad to hear that. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think the feedback generally has been that the game is a lot more fun than it was in the first playtest. There are still some outstanding quality of life issues and content needed, and, you know, maybe some builds are still a little bit OP. I think, so yeah, the goal for like this sort of segment of development, or this time until the next playtest, is to make the map more interesting to interact with and give the player more interesting choices when it comes to choosing which nodes to visit. And then I think, assuming that that goes well, the thing after that is just to do a bunch of quality of life. So making the combat log a lot more comprehensive, fixing a lot of the UI issues, getting the quick move to work in a more intuitive way, stuff like that. I went to Japan and China, and they were both really fun. Hong Kong was cooler than Shanghai, but both cities in China were cool. Hard to beat Japan, though. Yeah, I've heard great things about China and Japan. He said heck, yeah. He said heck. YouTube, please no demonetize. Don't demonetize me. What the HE double hockey sticks, dude? Okay, so we got combat booster. So if I select booster, I should be able to go here. That should apply that. It doesn't seem like it did. It did not apply it. On option selected. Apply change option. I'm not sure how you get feedback. You join the Discord and leave it in the Alchemortis feedback channel, or you can send me an email too at admin@firebelly.com. I've tried sending him pigeon letters, but I think my pigeons flew away. Yeah, they either flew away or got blown away. I don't know. Why is this not working? Do I have to do a debugger, really? Do I have to do this? I don't want to. I think I can see the obelisk being very fun. So I'm hoping that we're going in the right direction. The problem is I'm not really going to get a feel for it until I do some more visual stuff with it too. Also have to play with the rarity and stuff like that. Combat booster. Okay. So option, change event to type booster, map node effect, enemy card booster. So we're applying that change. Why does that seem like it didn't work? Did I break something? Let's look at my... Also, it's only picking 2 options. Wait a minute. Oh, I didn't add the 3rd option to it. I don't know why this isn't working. So that changed some reagents. Let's see if I get a death orchid from these. All of these should give me a death orchid. Oh yeah, look at that. 3 of them. Okay. Let's go to this one. Another death orchid. That seems to be working. Another death orchid. Okay. I wonder why my booster wasn't working. Let's go back over here. Booster. I hope I can beat this one. I should get an enemy. Oh, maybe it is working. Yeah, it is working. Fingerbone of St. Christopher. There we go. Does this one count? Oh, that does count as reagent there. Okay, I think it's working. Okay, so that's how the obelisk system works. And yeah, the idea is that obelisks could overlap each other. So I don't know if we have any overlap. Yeah, we do. So this obelisk is applying to this combat and this obelisk is applying to that combat. Although if the obelisk doesn't modify combat, then it's not going to actually do anything with it. So yeah, I got to do some work on the visuals here. I don't know if like a circular radius is the way to do it. Or I think Wuya suggested just doing some kind of like particle or something around the nodes that are affected by obelisks. That may be the way to do it. What are we trying to do? We're building an obelisk to affect nodes in a certain radius. Hello, Ninja Link. Hello, Chin. It's smooth, thank you. As I was leaving work yesterday, I found out that we had today as a holiday. I love free days off I didn't even know I had. True. It's possible to have more than 10 finger bones of St. Christopher. Yes, it is, unfortunately. See, here's the thing. When real life relics are distributed, like in the Catholic Church, they might have like a finger bone of a saint, but it's not like the entire finger bone. Like it could be like a chip of the bone or like divided into 4 pieces. So you could potentially have 100 finger bones of like the saint, and it's not the whole bone, it's like a piece of it. Hi, have a nice day, everyone. Thank you, Polaris. Hope you have a nice day as well. Company recently changed which holidays we got, so I didn't even realize that it counted as one. Fortunately, there's about 14 finger bones in one hand. Well, there you go. There you go. All right, so what am I doing? So I think the obelisk is looking good. Nice mug, thank you. I think the obelisk is looking good, or working well. I don't know what to do visually speaking, though. I think it would help to... I think I need to modify... Let me see. I think I do want to do some kind of... I don't want to use the circle here, I don't think. I think I do want to do some kind of particle effect. Just trying to think of how to visually show the nodes that are affected by obelisks. Are you going to be able to see what nodes are about to be changed before you use the obelisk? I'd have to accidentally change... I'd hate to accidentally change certain nodes before I got to use them. Yeah, that is something that I'm going to have to do as well. So what I'm thinking about doing is... might just add another tab over here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to have a way to show the map for sure. I just don't know, I guess, how I'm gonna do that exactly. Some rays casted from the obelisk pointing to the nodes would be cool. That could be cool. Make the obelisk choose upgrades randomly. I think I'm going to need to probably update this map node tooltip here. Let me just do something really quick. Debug show map, show debug map node. Tooltips. Okay. Okay. If game debug.is show debug show map node tooltips enabled. If game debug.is show map tooltips enabled. So I'm just cleaning that up real quick. Will look kind of like a lighthouse though. Yeah, that's true. You could use that lighting effect. Would be funny. An inverted aurora shader for the path between the obelisk and affected nodes. Goodness gracious. Do you prefer a skeleton or a flesh golem? Oh, skeleton all the way. I think what I need to do is I need to show... First of all, I need to show in the tooltip when a node has been affected by an obelisk. But I also probably want to have some kind of effect. I just don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what that's going to look like. As a friend, a skeleton for sure. Never seen the tabs on the left change size and why the top one is bigger when even not shown. Just interested. Yeah, it's supposed to be like a hierarchy because the alchemy is a sub-menu of the inventory. So basically, if you open the alchemy, it toggles the inventory open as well. But you can open the inventory without opening the alchemy. So it's supposed to be like a hierarchical thing that kind of implies that this is a sub-menu here. But I might need to work on that some more as well. Bone is technically metal rod since it's largely calcium, or no? Is calcium a metal? I don't think it is. Nepal V, hello. Saw your interview with Scope Creepers. You did great. Thank you. Appreciate that. It was fun. It was fun. I like Aramis and his work. Oh, what am I going to do here? How are we going to visually indicate the nodes that are under the effect of an obelisk? We could try some kind of like, I don't know. We could try some kind of like particle or sparkle effect or something. Okay. I don't know, maybe something like that. We'll figure it out. Does this work yet? Nope. I still don't know why that doesn't work. Anyway. Let's change the lifetime here. Let's see what that does. Shaders time, baby. Not yet. Hello, Koo. What you said about people giving up on game dev is true. It requires persistence and dedication. Yeah, I think so. Calcium is an alkaline earth metal, so yes, it is. Really? Interesting. What if particles are randomized runes plus glow? Mayhaps make the color ramp 2D of a particle with alpha 0 beginning and end. No, I can't use alpha. I'm not allowed to use transparency. I feel like this could work if I change some things here. Maybe that'll work. Looks kind of cool, I think. Okay, well, let's just see what we can do about that. We're going to turn emitting off. We're going to get rid of this show obelisk radius. Shoot, what am I going to do here? Apply map node effect. I think I can do it from here. Signal, public, delegate, void, map node effect, applied, event handler, run map node, node, emit signal, map node effect applied to node. Then if I go to my map container, run map node to map node. So if I go into here then, register run manager. This dot get map node effects manager dot connect. Map node effects manager dot signal name dot map node effect applied. Callable dot from run map node on map node effect applied. Run map node to map node. This is where I'm going to want to show this effect. All right, let's see what happens. So huge the area, yeah. I agree, it looks cool. What's the worst feature you've ever played in other games? Like you're convinced this is just there to qualify as a feature, but effectively only screws up the player with lazy difficulty spike. I've always thought that, like, I mean, the difficulty sliders in a lot of games, they just make bullet sponges out of the enemies. And I hate games that have enemies that are just bullet sponges where you just need to, like, attack them for 15 minutes straight, and that's basically it. Don't like that. What do you do when you feel like quitting? I don't really ever feel like quitting. I mean, there's certainly cases where, like, I think that maybe a game that I'm working on is not working, but in that case, you know, I'll just move on to a different project. I guess it depends on what you mean by quit. Like, when do I drop a project? Or... But yeah, I mean, I will drop projects if they're not panning out, or they're not as good as I thought they were going to be. Have you played Loop Hero? I played Loop Hero for like 15 minutes. So no, not really. That's not right. Oh, I applied the effect to everything. Nodes and pixel radius dot where. That's what I need to do. Let's try this again. You have it in your inventory, yeah. If this cell's big, will there be a game dev tutorial pack for this? Have you seen a fox in person? I don't know about... I mean, we'll do one thing at a time. We'll see how Alchemortis does before I plan on anything else. But have I seen a fox in person? I believe I have, yeah. Once. They're very rare. Not easy to see. Alright, let's see what happens here. So let's choose combat. Yeah, only highlighted combat nodes. Okay, good. Okay. So that seems to be working now. Foxes sound like dog toys. Okay. Your game caught my attention because it has some stuff that reminds me of Loop Hero. I was looking forward to finding another game in the genre. Yeah, I think a couple of people have said it kind of reminds them of Loop Hero. But I don't think it... I don't know. I haven't played Loop Hero enough, but I don't think it plays anything like Loop Hero. But I think aesthetically, I'd certainly see the similarities for sure. Alright, I think it would be useful to update these tooltips now to show what map node effects are on. So we'll do that. Plays nothing alike, yeah. No, it doesn't play anything like Loop Hero. Loop Hero's sick though. Yeah, I've heard Loop Hero's really good. For some reason, that game just didn't grab me. I don't know why. Yeah, I got you. Okay. Besides being an auto battler. Hello, Clickertail. Welcome back. Good to see you. All right, I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break, get a refill on my coffee, and when I come back, what I want to do is I want to add some additional tooltip information for what map effects are currently in progress. So yeah, we will figure that out. Loop Hero is amazing though. All right, so I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break. We'll modify these tooltips so we can actually show the player what obelisk effects are in place, and then we will continue on. All right, BRB. Okay, I'm back. Blinch didn't need to go as hard as he did with the music. Oh, and Loop Hero. Did you figure out how to draw the obelisk yet? I did, yes. Loop villain. Alright, so let's see. We would need to add some stuff. Booster label. What do I want to do here? Do I want to just duplicate this? Map node effects label. I don't know. I guess we'll just try that out. So we need a way of getting the map node effect descriptions. So let me do this. public abstract string get description. And then we're going to do public abstract string get grouped description. Then we'll do int occurrences. So now we're going to have to update all those. Increases blood gained from combat. Increases blood reward by amount. Let's do, let's do blood reward is increased by amount. Amount times occurrences. Okay, enemy card booster. Offers 1. Let's do count. Enemy faction card, I guess. We're going to do get grouped description. Oh, that's not gonna be right, is it? Well, it's fine. Okay, reagent guaranteed death orchid. I might have to change this a little bit, but return contains a guaranteed death orchid reagent. Well, let's just call it death orchid, and then get grouped description. Yeah, that should work. So we can use this information now for the for what? For that map node tooltip. So this is map node effects label. Node private rich text label. Map node effects label. And what we're going to do in here is what? Let's do this. Private void. Update map node effects. Run map node, map node. Map node effects manager. Public static bool. Has map node effects. That'll work. Map node effects label dot visible is equal to map node effects manager has map node effects. And then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to get var grouped descriptions is equal to get grouped map node effect descriptions. Effects group by select group.first get group description group count dot to list. We actually don't need to do that. Thank you, Copilot, for making my job easier. Okay. Cool. So we got the grouped descriptions now. I want to do var group string is equal to string.join/n group descriptions. Map node effects label.text is equal to group string. Okay, and then in here, when we do set map node, we're going to do update map node effects map node. All right, let's see what happens. Probably going to have to change that a little bit, but that's right. Where is an obelisk? There's an obelisk. Got a couple of interesting things to do with this still, but let's do this first. Let's do reagent. Bam. So now we've got a bunch of reagents in here. Contains 1 guaranteed death orchid. Why is that line height not correct? Or is it correct? Oh, there's one thing I want to do here too while I'm thinking of it. Well, maybe I shouldn't do this. Anyway. Maybe it's right. I don't know. I guess it's right. So anyway, let's test it with multiple boosters. Oh, we got an error here. Oh, it's not related. So if we hit this obelisk here, we choose a combat one. That's going to generate some combats for us. Okay, so I'm going to want to come up with a nicer way of displaying that information, but I think it's okay for now. Grab these things. Making my way all the way back up here. I just want to see if it stacks properly. So this says blood reward is increased by 10. This one is 5. So because these two obelisks affected a handful of the same nodes, this one still has Oh, it needs to, when it gets cleared, it needs to have its map node effects cleared as well. Okay, I can do that. But yeah, so now this one is going to increase the reward by 10, so that's 15. So if I do 15, that's going to be 46. Nice. Okay, so we got a basic system in place for that. I need to make these obelisks disappear now. Okay, I think that's working. So I need to clear this. When a node becomes cleared, it needs to also clear any of the map node effects. So how do I do that? Let's think. How am I going to do that? Map node. Type changed. Let me think. How do I want to do this? Do I want to manage this from the map container or not? Node.type changed on run map node. Update map node. I think I'll just do it here, I guess. Public void clear map node effects. Remove node. Public delegate void map node effects. Cleared event handler. Okay. There goes my cat yelling again. Okay, we'll just do it from here, I guess. So we'll clear it there. And then in my map node here, where was that? Modifier particles, show modifier effect. Oh, this is kind of weird, but that's all right. Map node effect cleared on map node effect cleared. I'm going to rename this bool show. All right, let's see if that works. So now after I clear a node, it should get rid of all those map node effects. I think it would be pretty cool if the obelisk turned into a background object after it was used instead of removing it completely. Yeah, I wonder how I would do that. It's an interesting idea, I just don't know. Yeah, I don't know how I would do that, I guess. Let's do combat. So we've got some combats here. If I go this way now and I clear this node, the sparklies should end. Yes, they did end. Very cool. Go back this way, go back that way. Cool. We'll go up through the artifact here. Let's do reagent. Okay, so that set up a bunch of reagents. Contains one guaranteed death orchid, contains one guaranteed death orchid. The other thing the obelisk does is it reveals every node that it affects. So it can actually extend your view radius when you visit the obelisk, which is pretty cool. If I go here, I should be able to get a death orchid from this. Cool. Should get another one here. 2 death orchids. Very nice. Okay. I just want to try something real quick. Let me find a good layout here. Okay, let's do 2 reagent increases here. Reagent. And go up to this one. Reagent. Contains 2 guaranteed death orchids. Let's see what happens. Nice. Okay, it seems to be working very well, which is good. Cool. Death Orchid and Cloak Artifact are kind of OP. Maybe. I don't know. I changed the Death Orchid, so I changed Alchemy from the playtest again. So the Alchemy board now is 3x3 by default, and the Death Orchid, when you use it, it only increases the board size to 4x4 for 1 Alchemy. And then after you are done with that alchemy, it goes back to 3x3. So instead of your alchemy board size changing permanently during the run, you start off with a bigger board so you can do more alchemy early on. And the Death Orchid just gives you a temporary buff to the board size so you can put more stuff in there. But yeah, in the playtest, it was definitely like very OP for sure. Clear map effects after visiting. So there's still some things that I want to do with this. So show animation for changed for nodes changed by obelisk. Okay. I also want to undo this obelisk visited stuff that I did. So I'm gonna actually do that. I was playing around with leaving the obelisk up, but it's just confusing. So we're gonna get rid of obelisk visited there. Gonna get rid of it here. And now let's build and figure out all the places where this broke. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay, we should be good now. Fix the issue. As a permanent upgrade, it was OP and even more because the price you could sell was too high, double OP. Yeah, so what I did since the last playtest is I nerfed the sell price of cards, especially when they're higher tier. And I also, yeah, did those changes to alchemy. So selling cards is still going to be a good source of income. And I want it to still be a good source of income to encourage the player to go to like get boosters and other cards and stuff. But yeah, mostly want the player to get money from combats, which is one of the reasons why the combat option on the obelisk here increases the blood gain. I also need to make changes to my wave function collapse again. It doesn't have any damaging abilities, which is fun. Okay, I think it's looking good. I'm just going to go up here real quick. Now this one, I may not win. No, I'm going to win it. Goodbye. Go to this obelisk here. We'll choose reagent. Awesome. Cool. All right, so this is shaping up. Obviously, I got to add a lot more obelisk effects into the game, but I think that for the most part, I think it's working well. I want to do some visual stuff. Obviously, I need to create like a whole obelisk screen instead of just having those buttons there. So I'm going to have to do, you know, the environmental art like I typically do. So like when I go to the upgrade, I've got the anvil here. So I'm going to need to do something similar for the obelisk. So I go into the obelisk here, and then I don't know how exactly I want to design it. I'm thinking just have the obelisk here, and then we'll have a number of like braziers down here that you can select. And each brazier will represent one of these options, and you can click it. I may, I don't know if I want to make it, I don't know. I might want to make it cost blood as well. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm trying to think if, you know, I'm trying to think what's better for the game. Like the enchant and the obelisk, they have like, they present 3 options to you. Is it better for all the options to be free so you have free choice? Or is it better to make the first option free, whatever it is, and then charge some blood for the other 2 options? I don't know. I don't know what's appropriate for that, but anyway, gonna have to do a lot more work on this obelisk here. I think the next step is probably to do all that visual stuff and also just add more obelisk effects. Maybe you need different sacrifices depending on the change chosen. Yeah, that could, I mean, the problem too is that, you know, since the player can't see the options beforehand, requiring like specific types of sacrifices is not going to be fun. But if I just said like, hey, give up a card or whatever, you know, then maybe that would work. Or, you know, I think blood is kind of the way to do that. Like if I need to sacrifice, blood is kind of like the fungible way of doing that. So it's kind of like an indirect sacrifice, right? Because let's say that you need 5 more blood to choose the option that you want. Well, you could just take a card from your inventory and sell it, and that's effectively the same thing. So that might be the way to do it. I don't know. We're going to have to play around with that. But the first step is to get a lot more Obelisk options into the game, get it looking good, get the animations looking good. And then, yeah, we'll have to do a bunch of playtesting and see. I have a bunch of other things that I want to do with respect to making the map more interesting as well. So I think I'm going to change how the notoriety penalties work. So right now, if you stick around in the first region for too long after the first boss gets beaten, all of the nodes gradually adopt a notoriety penalty where you incur double the notoriety cost for visiting a node in the first region. What I'm thinking about doing is having like this, spawning these singular eyeballs, which will float around the map and will increase the notoriety penalty of any node that's in their radius. And that could exist even before you fought the boss to add a little bit of intrigue to moving around the map, I think. So like you have to decide if you want to avoid the eyeball or incur the penalty. And then maybe after the boss gets killed, there's just a bunch of eyeballs that get added and sort of cover a large area, but not all of the area. So I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how that works. But I'm trying to, you know, the goal of, again, of this stage in development is to try to make the map choices more interesting, because it's relatively static in the current version of the playtest. The only choice really is, you know, which path do you want to go down? But adding more stuff that makes you change the path that you want to take more often, I think is going to be good for the game. So we'll see. You've already answered. I've noticed you use C#. Do you think it's mandatory to use it instead of GDScript? I don't think it's mandatory, no. Any really important advantage down the line that GDScript can't do? I definitely think that for more complex games with more complex systems, C# is better because you can structure things a lot nicer with C#. But I wouldn't go so far as to say it's mandatory. I think you can make any game in the Godot engine with GDScript. But I think C#, at least from a developer's perspective, is a lot easier to use when you have more complex systems interacting with each other. That's my opinion anyway. Okay. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for the stream today. I'm going to take this afternoon to continue working on that obelisk. I'll probably draw up some art for it and all that stuff, but it's lunchtime for me. So thanks again, everyone, for watching. Thank you for being here. Very much appreciate it. If you want to play Alchemortis right now, you can do that. Go to the Steam page. It's linked in the description below. Click this request access button for that playtest, and you'll get to play it instantly. And then please share your feedback in the Discord server, which again is also linked below. I would very much appreciate that. All of your feedback is going to help me develop the game and make it as good as possible. Again, I want this game to be the game that is like make or break for me. Alchemortis is either going to do really well, and then I can continue doing this, or it's not going to do so well, and I have to go and get a normal job again. So it is a make or break moment, and your feedback is going to help me out a lot in terms of making it as good as possible. And you can also support the game financially by joining at Patreon. You click the Join Now button. There's a couple of tiers here. The sponsored tier, which is $15 a month. If you subscribe for at least 1 month, this will get you a Steam key for the full game when the game launches. So this is like a pre-purchase of Alchemortis, and your name will also be listed in the Alchemortis credits. And you also get other perks like unlimited access to my Udemy courses. So if you want to support Alchemortis and you want to take my courses, this is a no-brainer. And yeah, I think having your name in the Alchemortis credits, I mean, imagine Alchemortis sells 500 billion copies and your name is in the credits. Wouldn't that be cool? Anyway, thanks again, everyone, for watching. I appreciate it. I'll be back at it. Oh, I won't be streaming at the usual time tomorrow. One of my cats has a vet appointment, but I will try to stream at some point in the afternoon. So join the Discord to be notified when I go live. Have a good day. I'll see you all later, and take care. Bye-bye.